Well, hello interweb, this is Dannage and we are back in Winterbell. Welcome back. We still have a problem with the garbage. Oh my god, let's put another landfill in. Let's put some more industries in, because look at that industry demand. Oh, we've got loads of industry demand. I tell you what we should do is we should make some more roads and put some more residential areas in. That'll sort the industry demand out. Not really. Let's completely ignore our demand, our RCI indicators, put some more water in, stretch that out a little bit, and then sort of go, well, I do need to bring more money in because we are trying to make some money. And when we're going to spend that, we're going to uplift the garbage spend in the budget panel because I've got so many landfills already, it's just getting ridiculous. So let's put some more industry in and let's put 2 more landfills in. That's 3 extra landfills that we've just added in the last 5 seconds. How can we possibly run out of space? Recycle, kids, recycle. I'm really upset that I actually got rid of all my recycling centres as the assets. I really should remember to turn those back on. I've turned a few back on and you will see later on I do get a recycling centre. But yeah, need to actually go back and switch on more of those assets because all I'm really interested in here at the moment is adding a new school and I'm going to add a new high school. You know why I'm doing that? Because educated citizens produce less garbage. Let's just check the traffic. Traffic's doing okay, not bad. Okay, let's get back here and let's put some more of the commercial in because we've got a high commercial demand. And commercial produces less blah than the industry does. So that's better to put in. And where are we? We've got red. What is that red flashing thing in the RCI indicator? Is that saying, I don't want people. I've got too many people. Don't do it. Don't do it. Give me water for my industry and my commercial areas. Build more industry. We want more industry, even though it's polluting. Come on. More of it. More. So I'm going to move all the trees out of the way, and I'm now just going, right, to hell with it. Go all the way down there. Just take your filthy industry. And then don't take that last bit because that's on a one-way road, so that will never go anywhere. So don't do that because it won't build anything. But then build the commercial. Now can I get back to my houses? No, I'm just going to bulldoze some trees. I'm going to get rid of. I'm not going to bother moving those because there's too much of them. Now slowly put a few more houses in. Yes, want to build on that space. Want to make all that flat space. Running out of water, so put 2 more towers in. Running out of electric a bit later as well. But, you know, everything's going on pretty much. Having to turn the snow down a little bit. Irritatingly, it switches itself back up a second or 2 later, so doesn't really pay that much attention to the ultimate eye candy. But, well, never mind. Now all those tidal waves seem to have settled down a little bit, possibly because of all of those tidal plants that we've got. Obstructions in the water maybe are helping out, but look at that, we've run out of power. But we finally got a solar power station here as well. Isn't that great? Yes, it is, Dannage. Now this episode, I'm going to put some more. You'll notice I've put another heater in because everybody's getting a bit cold and the road condition was getting a little bit scrappy. So I also then put, just before that, I put in one of the more road maintenance networks. And I'm just trying to get here more houses, all spreading out. They're all the 4x4s. Put a little park in, put a big park in, put a little park in. I've got room for a little park. And then those aren't really the sort of 4x4 areas, 8x8 areas even, so I put commercials in there. Gonna move this all out of the way because I need more industry. But you know, I've actually got a nice little area down there in terms of a nice little sort of natural hill or a natural crevasse, or not crevasse. What's the word I'm looking for? Come on. Well, it's a word. It's a word. It's a corner. It's a cleft. It's a clip. Who cares? Okay, you weren't any help, so I'm just going to do that myself. Now we're going to try and experiment with a slightly wider road, which is going to upset our network a little bit because instead of having our nice 8x8 grid, because this road is wider, we are going to end up with a 7x7. But the glorious thing is, and this is the only reason that I actually bought the Snowfall DLC, was because it was the only way to get trams in, and trams I thought, might reduce the amount of traffic that I get. Sometimes when I do builds, I do actually end up with a lot of significant traffic issues. So I want to use more public transport. And in here I'm now trying to get into the, this is going to be because I'm now in a bigger roads, so I'm going to use some grass verges around here because I'm moving towards perhaps a more built up level of the city. And in those places I'm going to do 3x4 residentials and 4x4s. Later on as well, you will see I will do some smaller residential areas. I'm glad to see that the residential demand is on the up because residents bring cash, and cash means that I can build more stuff. And really, let's face it, the only reason that we're doing the whole grid thing is because of the cash demands. And we want to get into doing some detailing. You want me to get into doing some detailing as well. I've read it in all the comments that I've made up, pretending that I'm hearing them in my mind. But they're all saying, Dan, we want you to do some slightly more detailed stuff. Here we are doing some smaller houses. Didn't really want to. I wanted to do high density residential within this area, but what I found there was that I'm still not going to be able to do that until I get more people. So I'm going to need more people in a relatively smaller space. So instead of doing 4x4s and spreading everybody out, now I'm beginning to sort of pack them in a little bit. And I'm getting a little warning message here saying I haven't got enough stuff for my industry. And, well, really, who cares? I'm putting in another, what am I looking for here? Services. I'm looking for services to up the level of stuff. And was that a university? That was a university. Look, I can afford one now. That's brilliant. But I'm hoping that level of extra brains from the university and the education will mean that there is less garbage being produced by my infernally garbageous citizens. Garbageous is a new word, but I like the sound of it. I think I'm going to use that in prose. So let's move back onto, we're going back onto, well, I'm not going all big roads from now on in. I've got a big sort of oval there, or a big rectangle of a wider road for which there will be trams. And there will later be a tram stop going, or a network going down there. But at the moment, I've got nothing on that road for it to bother picking up with. So we put some residential areas around here. We put some commercial areas closer to the station, the power station, not the station, the sort of tram depot. So not really, we want to put some commercial down here so that these people have some shops to get to. But also, there we go, there's my recycling centre. Can't remember who made that asset, but there's a bunch of assets like that, and I do end up putting a few more in a line. I did promise I would try and get rid of that power line. And then I've got to get rid of that building as well, around that crematorium. That's the word I'm looking for. And so I've put lots of little houses here around the edge, and little 2x2s, hands of blue, Firefly reference. There will be some housing going on in here, and this is basically going to be what I'm going to do for the whole thing. Now, what I did do is I did sort of do roughly an hour's worth of gameplay. It was just under an hour's worth of gameplay. Look at all those abandoned buildings now. Oh, yeah, you'd give me all that time. You said you want that industry, but no, now you don't want it. So I'm just going to demolish that and then dezone some of it. But what we've got is we've got... what was I saying? Oh, God. I've forgotten. I'm going to listen. We were going to do something. I was going to say something. So there's some... what was it? Can't remember now. So halfway through a second ago, I was going to say something really interesting. And it would have blown your mind. But it's not going to now. So you can just revel in the disappointment. Look, let's start to dezone some of that industry. And that's going to help us, to be honest, with our pollution. Because we don't like that pollution. So we're putting more of those streets in. We are still going to put cross streets in to keep the grid going elsewhere in the middle of that, but I'm still loath to build too much in the middle of that at the moment. Big park there, but then disappointed in how much of the park is actually all dead trees or dead looking trees. They're a little bit weedy, aren't they? They need to be conifers. They need to be fully on grown up and stuff. Anyway, so let's put some more commercial areas in there, and we're just trying. But we are desperately trying to get people. More than anything else, we're trying to get a massive amount of. Oh, that was it. Yeah, I'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, we are trying to increase the amount of people in here so that we can get to the 7,700 that we need to get a high residential, high density buildings going in. And that's where the audio recording got interrupted. Hello, welcome to Big Town. Now I can build the other stuff. So the interruption of the audio recording meant that I could take a brief pause and try and collect my thoughts now that we're building some offices and high-rise, high-density buildings. I didn't say thoughts that much, but there we're adding a tram line. So the thing that I was trying to say and then forgot and then remembered and then have probably sort of forgotten again, I think I was trying to say was that I'd played around about an hour, whereas instead of an hour I'm actually sort of putting it on an 8th speed, and I'm running through I'm running a sort of sun up to sun down, and then thinking, oh well, that must have been about an hour, ignore what the clock says, and I'm just going to end there. But what I find is that actually this time I needed to tinker a little bit more, and I did find that I didn't quite, I got to the sort of point where I was ending, and then I was like, well, I'm just going to come back, I'm going to do some cinematics, and then as I was doing cinematics I was like, actually that bit's sort of broken, I can add a few more bits in there, maybe some high density commercial. Ooh, that one's wider. Slightly disrupted by forgetting that the grid is different size now. Look at that traffic. Look at that traffic. All going into one lane, and I'm thinking, oh, well, what shall I do? 4 lanes? Yep, that seems to have worked. They're still only using one left to go left and one to go right, but for some reason they're now doing it much quicker. And later we will find, so this will sort of skip about a little bit afterwards, or towards the end of the video, because actually there'll be lots of sort of, I just I sort of interrupted to change some stuff, and then actually no, I went back here and I needed to fix this, and I need to put some more services in, because I need to up that, and they all look, and I don't know why one's lit and the other one isn't, but hey, we've got some trams going now. And that's all going pretty well. Put a bus station in as well, maybe get a bus route. And we need to improve the traffic, and boy do we need to, because later on you will see there is a point where I find that bridge that we put that speeded up road on, that one there, that one that goes across, that gets very much log jammed in about 5 minutes time. We're going to end up there and seamlessly transit through the art of a cinematic to more fiddling. And here we are, we're back fiddling in the second time in the post sort of, oh yeah, I've finished it, and I'm going to put some more houses in, and then I'm going to finish in these high density areas because I want more traffic, I want more people, I want more, you know what, I want office space now, because that industry demand bar can accommodate office spaces now. Cheers very much, and offices don't pollute, so yeah, let's go for it. I really like, I mean, these buildings, they're about to come up, and what it does do very well, this game sometimes, is it will say, right, I'm putting 4 buildings together, and I know how to make that look pretty. Because those will just be some blocks. Small city! Now I've got lots of stuff, and I'm going to be able to put all this stuff in when I start doing my detailing, if I ever get round to it. Won't be next episode, because you won't have commented by then, will you? No. So there we've got another little sort of road that we've put in, and you'll notice that I took absolutely no time to measure anything, and I've quickly realised as I've done that, oh no, that's not a 4x4 grid. Whoops. But never mind, just think around it. Make it look like it was planned. What we do there is we put a pathway in the middle of those things, and then that's going to go all the way down the grid, and then there's going to be people walking up and down those paths, so screw you. And then the problem is that we're running out of time for the video now, so we're going to have to go proper speed it up. Just pretend there's the Benny Hill theme tune. going on in the background. Let's just skip to where we're fixing the bridge. Oh God, we found the bridge. Oh, look at the traffic. Oh, the humanity. Let's upgrade that to a 2-lane road either side. Yep, that's looking good. That's looking good. Yep, okay, let's try and get into a car. Let's follow it. Yeah, let's prove that we've fixed the traffic problems. Ah, it's an easy ride. There's never going to be any more traffic problems here. Damn. So close.